So our first topic was adding polynomials. All you do is combine the like stuff together. You're going to basically just ignore the parentheses and put the like things together. So we have p squared and then plus 2p squared. So together, 3p squared. You're not changing the exponents. You're really not doing anything besides combining them together. And then we had negative 9p and negative 4p. So that would be negative 13p. And then you have plus 3 minus 12, which will be minus 9. That's all that there is to the adding. You just find the like stuff, combine them together. So I'm going to leave this one for you guys. So for the next one, you have the answer. We're just filling in the blank. So what number would need to go there to make this work out? Well, look, you have 3x squared plus what would give you 7x squared. Yeah, a lot of you like already, 4. 3 plus 4 gives you 7. Is that, are we together there? Okay, that's all that you're doing, is what's the missing part. All right, now this says the sum. What does sum mean, guys? Yeah, plus, adding. The sum of two binomials is this. Here's one of them. What's the other one? It's like the same kind of thing, except you're missing all of it, okay? So it's 5x squared minus 2 plus what, I'm just going to leave like a blank there, is going to equal 8x squared plus 14. So it's like you have the answer, but you're missing part of the question. Oh, good. Why would it be 3x squared? Yeah, 3 plus 5 would give you 8. So 3x squared. Now you have a negative 2 plus what would give you 14? And yes, it would be plus 16. Good. So you're just figuring out what the missing part is. And then we'll do this one too. It says a triangle has these side lengths determine the perimeter. That means you're just going to add them all up. So what's going to combine with the 4x? The x and what else? 7. You're just going to put them all together. So it's 4 plus 7 plus 1 would be 12x. And then you have 2 plus 3 would be 5. That's it. For subtraction, this is really all that there is. There aren't any harder problems here. You have to write out the middle step, though. Do you remember me saying this? Like, write it out, okay? Everyone that tries to do it in their head ends up dropping a negative sign. So you're going to copy the first thing, like literally just rewrite it. Hey, Miss Cole, it looks like you just rewrote what's there. Sure did. Just recopy it. And you're going to distribute the negative. What's that going to do to everything over here? If you distribute a negative, what's going to happen to everything? It just flips. It's just going to be opposite. Okay, if it's positive, it goes negative. If it's negative, it goes positive. So it's going to be minus x squared. And then what? Yeah, plus 5x minus 7. Just write it out. Just don't be lazy and write it out so you don't miss a negative. Now you're going to put all the like stuff together. What goes with the 3x squared? Yep. Now it is negative, so it's 3 minus 1 will be 2.
Oh, never mind.
Because there's a negative. Negatives are commonly missed. You got to be careful. All right, and then you've got 2x plus 5x, so 7x. And then negative 1 and negative 7 will be negative 8. I'm going to leave the other one for you. Same thing, you just distribute the negative and then combine the like things together. So that was adding and that was subtracting. I think I made the next section the algebra tiles. All right, this one says draw algebra tiles to represent the answer for the one we just did. I'm going to write it up here so you can see it. It was 2x squared plus 7x minus 8. We're going to draw algebra tiles to represent that. So what shape represented an x squared? The big square, and so we would need 2 of them. So 2 big squares for your 2x squared. And then how did we do x? Yeah, like the skinny rectangle. So you need 7 of them. This is fun, drawing shapes in math class, like doodling in math class. And then how would we do a -8? Yeah, shaded in, and what shape were they? Yeah, like the small squares. So you need 8 of them colored in. They would normally be red, but we like, I mean, everything's in black and white here, so we're just going to color them in. It'd be cool if I had a color printer though. I mean, we have one in the library, but I can't run off like hundreds of things on it. Here we're going to do that backwards. You have the shapes. We're going to write it out in like the X's and Y's and things. So write out a sum modeled by these. All right, so what would this be represented by? All right, 2x squared minus x. Good, minus 1x. So that's the first thing. Plus, and then what is the second thing here? Yep, 3x plus 2. Good. It's basically just knowing what each of the shapes means. And then this is the one where we did the product. I don't know if you remember this, where you line them up on the top, line them up on the sides, and then we filled it in the center. Sort of. Anyway, we're going to review it right now. So if you do an x plus 2 along the top and then an x plus 6 along the side, when you go to fill it in, you're going to have an x squared, so like the big square. And then you would have 2 of the x's here. So that's for the plus 2. And then you would have 6 of them this way. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it fit. Barely. So you have 2 going one way and 6 going the other way. Are you following me there? 2 one way, 6 the other way. And then you're just going to fill these in with the little squares. I don't know. So were you guys good on that? 2 this way, 6 this way? Fill it in? Yeah. Okay, on your test, it's going to be multiple choice. All right, now we're getting into the multiplying, which is what you just did your quiz on. This is basically just a big bunch of distributing. Again, I'll do the first one, leave the second one for you. If you distribute the 3x through here, what are you going to get?
3x cubed.
3x cubed, good. Hey guys, focus. And then this would be minus 15x squared plus 18x. Good. I'll leave the other one for you. Again, we'll just do one or the other. The only reason I put these in the middle category is because they have negatives with them. Negatives can be difficult, but we're going to just do the exact same thing. Just bring the negative with you. So this would be negative 5 times 4. Negative 20 x to the 4th. Good. Negatives are going to cancel. So negative 5 times negative 3, 15x to the 3rd. Good. About organization. And then the last one, negative 5 times 9. Good. Cool. And same thing here. I put these in the more difficult category because it's going to be like 2 parts to the problem. You're going to distribute and then combine like terms. So again, we'll do the first one. I'll leave the second one for you. So distributing the 2x, bless you, but only through the first set of parentheses. So what would that give us? 2 times negative 5. Okay, negative 10 x to the 4th. And then 2 times 7, 14. Oh, and what would we have for that one? Yeah, good. XY. Perfect. Plus the rest of this. You just have to copy it down. It's not going to change. You just have to write it. And then you have to combine like terms. So what is going to go together? Like what goes with the negative 10 here? Yeah, plus 8. Good. So negative 10 plus 8. You have 2x. You guys are nailing. Please, can you like not forget it all over the weekend? Because you guys are doing awesome. I just want this to be a really good test for everybody. All right, and then you have 14xy plus 6xy, 20xy. It actually doesn't matter. I just always put x before y because alphabetical order, but I wouldn't mark it wrong if it was the other way around. All right, so that was multiplying. This is more multiplying, but you have either a 2 by 2 or a 2 by 3. Okay, so I'll do this first one by distributing, and then I'll do the next one using the box method. For distributing, you would take the 3x multiply it to the 5x plus 7. And if you want to draw a little window, you can do that instead if that's your preference. I'm going to do like one way and one another way. And then you take the -2 and distribute it to the 5x plus 7. And so then it's like what we just did on the other side of the paper. You're going to distribute here. That would be 15x squared, perfect, plus 21x. And then this is going to be minus 10x minus 14. You bring the negative with you. And then combine like terms. So what's going to go together? Can you write this down for me? You're going to have a test next class.
21x and -10.
Good. So that would be 11x in the middle. I'll do the next one with the box method in case you liked that better. When it's 2x minus 3 squared, that just means you have the same thing twice. I usually call it a twin. And again, if you liked the distributing, just do that instead. I'm trying to do like one each way. So what will go in the first little square? 4x, or are you guys all just doing the problem? All right, and then this will be minus 6x. This will be minus 6x. But this will not be negative. What will go here? 9. The negatives cancel. Yeah, good job. See, kind words. I like it. So when you put these together, it'll be 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. This is the same thing. You could either do distributing or draw a little window, whatever is your preference. And then over here, I'm going to actually do the second one on this because it's a 2 by 3. Oh my gosh.
Or, you know.
Are we being kind back there? Did you all draw this on your paper? That's fine. Whatever method you're doing is fine. You just have to write something. All right. For the first little square, it'll be 18 x to the third. Again, whichever method you use, you should end up with an 18 x to the third in there. And then what's going to go in the second one? 30x squared. And then this will be minus 12x. Good. Now here, it's just a -1. When you multiply by 1, nothing's going to change. But since it's a -1, it's all just going to go opposite. So this will be a -3x squared, a -5x, and a +2. And then you're going to put the like stuff together, and they're going to go together, like the diagonals are going to go together. So it'll be 18x cubed. And then what will you have for your x squared? We're putting these two together. 27 x squared, perfect. And then these two, -12 and -5, -17x, and then +2. And then the last thing we did was division. It is like distributing, but you're dividing instead of multiplying. Do you remember the little Quizlet game we played last time? You're dividing each of these by 7x. Just write it out. Again, like with the subtraction and writing the middle step, just don't be lazy. Just write it out so that you see what's going on. And then you're just basically playing a tug of war. You divide the numbers, like the coefficients, subtract the exponents. So for the first one, 14 divided by 7, be 2, and then x to the 5th. Good. Minus 21 divided by 7, be 3, x to the 2nd. Good. And then this one's the same thing. It's just written out with words. Your area is given by this thing. What's the width? If you don't want to write it all over again, you can kind of shimmy the 5x squared into each of these. Since it's already kind of on the paper, we're just going to divide each of those by 5x squared. Good. 3x to the third. 4x to the 1. What happens to the x squareds there?
Just.
They cancel out, so it'll just be 2. Good. So it'll just be a 2.
No, he's over here.
I'm not gonna get in the middle of that argument. All right, and then these are your review questions. Let me bring up Desmos for this first one. These are your review questions. It says, find f of -1. All you have to do is plug in -1. I'm going to share my screen so you can see this. Now, here's the only thing. When you're on the graphing one, it won't do x and y, so you have to use a or b. So I'm going to do 4a squared. What is it? Plus 2a minus 6. Do you guys see how I just typed the thing in? Okay, and then down here, I want a to equal, what was it? And it will literally tell you the answer.
Wait, but I thought it would be the same thing with X.
It won't- Yeah, so if you're on the scientific one, X will work, but if you're on the graphing one, it won't. So I just changed it to an A and then it'll work. So you just have to pick a different letter of the alphabet. But you're in any case, your answer is -4. Please don't miss that one. Like literally, you can just type it in the calculator. And then this line right here, what is its slope? Since it's a flat line, 0. Oh, good. It is y equals, where is the line? 3. If it was vertical, instead of 0, this would be x equals, but it would be undefined. Good, perfect. Boy bucks. Good, well remembered. I'm gonna rewrite the problem here just so that I can work with it. It says to put it in slope-intercept form. That is y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. Basically, it means get y by itself. So what you're going to do is subtract the 5x. You're just moving stuff. Just here, we're going to move this over to the other side. So it will be -2y equals -5x plus 8. Hey, Ms. Cole, why didn't you write 8 minus 5x? Well, you want it in the correct order. Y equals mx plus b. So the x has to come first. And then you're going to divide everything by -2. Is this ringing any bells? We did this. It was like a while ago, though. That's why we're reviewing. So this will be y equals
2.5.
And I would just leave it as 5/2. When we do slope, we usually like a fraction because you can go up 5/2 kind of thing. 2.5 isn't like wrong, but you want it to be a slope. And then what would this be? 8 divided by -2, -4. Oh, I guess it says state the slope and y-intercept. Well, what number is the slope? 5/2, and then -4 is your y-intercept. All right, and then last one. For this function, the range is given by these numbers. Range is y. I was going to ask you, but it says it on the paper. So you're going to plug each of those in for y, which is f of x. You could also write this y equals 3x minus 7, and then just solve them. It is going to be 3 separate problems, but neither of them is going to be very long, all right? You're going to have -1 equals 3x minus 7. You're going to have 3 equals 3x minus 7. And then what was the last one? 4 equals 3x minus 7. And you're just going to work those out. And it's going to be the same steps for all 3 of them. Did you get that right now? Are we all good here?
Yeah,
So what would you do to solve this?
add 7.
Plus 7. That would give you 6 equals 3x. Divide by 3. What do you get?
2.
2 is your first answer. Same exact steps here. You're going to add 7. That'll give you 10. Now, when you divide by 3, does 10 divide nicely? No, so just leave it as 10/3. That's fine. You could turn it back into a decimal. It would be 3.33333333. Some of you are totally not writing this down. Do you understand this is going to be on the test? Like, that's why it's on the review. All right, and then here, add 7. What will that give you over here?
11.
11 divide by 3, and again, 11 divided by 3 didn't work out nice, so you just leave it as 11, everything. So do you get that there are 3 answers?
Yes.
3 problems to work out? Okay.